Alright, let's talk about another suit that I'm excited to make a video about because it's good at every single cost. The Zaku III. The Zaku III is really bulky, has good resistances, good HP, and incredible weapons. It has only one dodge roll, unlike the full Burnin', but to make up for that, it has maneuver armor and damage control 2, which means it is a rare case where the full Burnin' needs to shoot it 4 times because this guy has 160 threshold to get stunned by anything that isn't an instant stagger. It also has offense system, which means that if it's dashing or attacking with melee, it'll have the 160% stagger threshold. It also has immobile firing system, which means that there's 3 ways that this Zaku III becomes difficult to stagger. When it's in HSM, when it's using its melee, and when it's using its new torso beam launcher, which got upgraded recently. The range on the Zaku III is significantly less than on the full Burnin', so it isn't good at long-range combat. However, the Zaku III's bulk and its ability to tank staggers on the front lines is going to make it a very relevant case for this clan match. Let's go over here and go over the details.
Making preparations for sorting.
Unlike the full Burnin', this suit has double the guns and double the melee, so this might be a little longer. The focus on the Zaku III is bulk, not damage. The damage does come from it naturally. And get to where it needs to go. Here's the beam rifle. It's the same beam rifle as on the, not the Gaza, what's it called? The Jarja. 1, 2. It does 50%, just like the full Burnin's beam rifle, but the cooldown is a little longer, and it's ammo based. The firing interval is 1 second instead of 0.8 seconds, but it still does a decent amount of damage and does the same stagger rating. So it's really good at poke firing, but you do have a reload, which means that your sustained fire ability is a little low. That being said, it's still really good. You can use it in many different ways to suppress an enemy without actually getting into the fray and using your melee, which is going to be difficult to do on this map. The charge shot also does 50%, but it's also a instant stagger, and it doesn't cost any more ammo than usual, so you can use this to start a fight. Let's talk about its mouth beam cannon. The mouth beam cannon does 35% per shot, and it can be used while boosting. This is the perfect gun to start your melee combos against somebody that is getting too close to your support. And for finishing off somebody if you're the ace, that's really important. Just like how the full Burnin's Vulcans and long-range beam rifle is good for picking up opponents that are low HP, the Zaku III has a pursuit weapon as well in its mouth beam cannon. And you can fire it a ton of times. It doesn't even overheat that much. Let's talk about the waist beam launcher. This is our instant stagger, and we are stopped to fire with it. It does 25% times 2, which is 50. So you can use this plus your gun to stagger somebody. It is stopped to fire, so while you're holding the gun like this, you are not able to be staggered unless you reach 160% stagger rating. And it has a special mode called the limit release. When you press the square button, suddenly the nature of the gun changes. Instead of being 160 power, it becomes 900 times 4. It does an incredible amount of damage, which is why the Zaku III doesn't need to go full ranged. This does 3114, and then if we limit release it, 18 times 4. That's almost 8,000 damage. I believe it's 7,400. And each shot from this gun instant staggers, and they do 20 times 2 times 4, which is 160%. This is notable in that the 160% is really good at stunning other Zaku 3s. If you hit another Zaku 3 with all of your shots with the double beam launcher, you'll stun them. Anything with DC2 that gets shot by the waist launcher, all 4 shots will get stunned. So it's a very High-Gog-like situation where the High-Gog is really one of the only options you have at stunning another High-Gog while they're in a stagger-resistant form. The last thing we'll go over is the melees. The Saber is a standard Saber, but the Bayonet has a 200% downswing modifier, which means it's really good in a combo that ends with it as the final melee attack or an in-between melee attack. Here's what I mean. The Beam Saber has a 3-second cooldown, so you want to do the Heat Saber from here first. Something like this will do. 2, 3, 4. Bam! Did a lot of damage just now. That's your biggest combo, by the way. A stun into bayonet downswing, Saber downswing, bayonet downswing. Let's do it on this Gaplant over here. Hup. 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 Damn, that's a lot of damage. And while you're doing all that, while you're doing all these melee attacks and dashing, you're not staggerable. Well, you're stagger resistant because of your damage control 2 and your maneuver armor / offense system. That is your big payoff combo for melee. But we have a big payoff combo for range too. By combining the cooldown interval of the double beam launcher with our regular rifle, we can do a lot of damage within a very small amount of time. Change to the rifle, then change back to the beam launcher. Rifle again, beam launcher. Rifle again. And yeah, you just did a lot of damage. Squeeze in beam rifle shots in between the waist launcher, the waist beam launcher, and you'll get a free, like, 1,500 to 2k damage depending on what you're shooting. Just like the full burn-in, the Zaku III is really good at doing a lot of range damage from distance, which means that you don't have to go in and use your Saber all the time. I'm pretty sure if something takes 3 volleys from this waist cannon and 3 shots from the beam rifle, it's pretty much dead. So that combined with your ability to boost and shoot and do long combos, the Zaku III is going to be excellent at frontlining, stopping raids, stopping anything honestly, doing a lot of damage. Just make sure you know when you're resistant to stuns, make sure you stay in a position where you're resistant to stuns, and don't get caught out in the open without an easy escape route. And even if you do, you should be fine. The suit's built to take the brunt for the team. You're going to get shot a lot, but you have maneuver armor, you have offense system, and you have your limiter removal beam launcher to attack back while you're being shot at. So leave it to the Zaku III to take hits, and give your team the cover it needs to do what the damage that they need to do.